Hello, my name is SilverDarkPhoenix, and this is my unboxing of Yennefer of Vengerberg from The Witcher: The Wild Hunt 3, as well as from the Dark Horse Deluxe and CD Projekt Red. On the bottom you have the Yennefer of Vengerberg. You also have Dark Horse Deluxe. I'll just show you this. As well as her full name, as well as the caution: do not give it to people below 3 years old. I don't see why you would. Also, ages 14 and plus, warning: choking hazard, small parts, not for children under ages 3 years. Caution. I wouldn't expect people to give this figurine to a person who is, or a child who is at least 1 year old. But the age restriction, ages for 14 and plus, that's a bit ridiculous. I think anyone who is a collector of The Witcher or a fan of The Witcher, even if you are like 9 to 14 years old, you can still buy this. I mean, it doesn't have anything, you can't, I mean, there is cable ties and stuff, you can probably choke on that, but I don't see a 9-year-old choking on things like this. So yeah, this is a bit strange to see that kind of age restriction. On the top of the box you have The Witcher: The Wild Hunt with the 3 on the marks here, which is on the game itself. You have a huge window of Yennefer. On the side you have the wolf's head medallion, and on the back you have Geralt, Ciri, Triss, as well as Eldwin, and then on the side you actually have Yennefer. So yeah, like again, I've seen this before. Yennefer looks like the image on the side. The statue has the same expression as well as the same posture as the picture on the side. The only character I've noticed that doesn't have the same expression and the same posture on the side as the other is Triss, which technically at this point Triss is the best looking one out of the characters at this point. She's the most detailed one and the one that looks mostly like Triss. And then it's Eldwin, and then it goes with Geralt, and then Ciri. Ciri is the worst looking one because for some odd reason her face doesn't suit the expression she has. She kind of comes off looking drunk. It's kind of weird. So yeah, also you have on the top of the box a window which is kind of pointless. On the bottom is the same cautions as well as the age restrictions. So yeah, I'll open this up off camera and show you what she looks like without the box. Hello again, this is what she looks like without the box around her. This is what she looks like, what she's meant to look like, which is on the image of the box. The expression is kind of the same, although the hair is not the same. The hair doesn't fall down over her eye a bit. Also her mouth. They've given her cheeks too much, I think they've given her too much of an expression around the cheek areas, making her look a bit older than she actually is. Which I think is kind of a disappointment in many ways. She doesn't look like Yennefer that much because they've made her look older here. Because they've given the details around her cheeks from the mouth areas, or the laughter lines as most people would call them, they've made them too deep. In the expression here, you can barely see them, they're kind of blurry, but this, they've made her a bit too old looking because of that. Overall, they've got the costume correct. It's not as nicely finished as some of the other characters. It's not as, I mean, you can see it here, it's not as nice. She looks like Yennefer from here. She looks like Yennefer. But if you look like that, no, she looks a bit like an old version of Yennefer. She looks like Yennefer from the sides, just like what happened with Ciri. I think the design team that made Ciri as well as this character here, Yennefer, I don't know, I can't say, but I think they didn't spend as much time on creating these figures as they should have. Some of their characters look like their characters, like Triss, as well as Geralt, as well as Eldwin. These Yennefer as well as Ciri don't have the same expressions as on the picture. They kind of don't look like themselves as much. Only if you tilt them from a certain angle that they actually do seem to look like their character. The same with Ciri. If you turn Ciri this direction, because of her scar, you could actually tell that it was Ciri. The same thing goes with Yennefer. She looks a bit... It just seems a bit strange. She doesn't look like Yennefer that much. I mean, you got a picture of her right here, and this is the expression you get. It's kind of strange. Also, there's a lot more detail in this actual image that doesn't seem to appear on the costume itself. I mean, there's like little kind of decoration on the actual clothing that doesn't seem to be appearing here, although they did put decoration for Triss's leather corset, as well as there was detail on Geralt's actual armor. Even his little woven chainmail was chained. You could actually see the chainmail going across. I don't see why they just, you know, it's almost like they rushed Ciri and Yennefer. They just rushed them out the door without giving that much detail compared to the others, which is kind of disappointing. I would have liked to seen more detail, just like the others, on these characters. I think Ciri as well as Yennefer didn't get as much attention to detail as the other characters did. So yeah, it's kind of strange. I think Ciri, Yennefer and Eldwin actually came out all the same time, which was in November and December, while Geralt and Triss came out before that. Maybe there was a kind of, they were rushing them out, or they had to make them come out before Christmas or something. But yeah, there's not as much detail on the costume as there was on Triss's one. The paintwork is kind of quickly done as well. There's a bit of splashing here and there, as well as some of the belt buckles don't seem to be well finished in certain places. But she does look like Yennefer from an actual posture like this. They got the posture correct, they got some of the costume okay, but I think they just rushed some of these characters out the door because they had a deadline, and some of them were actually, you know, meant to be out before Christmas. So I hope they don't do this with other characters. I hope they do other characters from the Witcher saga. I just hope that they manage to give more detail to the characters than they have to Ciri and Yennefer, because they can do it. I've seen Triss and Geralt and Eldwin, and those characters are beautiful. They are well designed and detailed. I'm just kind of disappointed that Yennefer as well as Ciri didn't get as much time to improve some of the details here and there. But overall, she does look like Yennefer. She does look like the character on this. Unlike Ciri, you would have to tilt her from a certain angle just to get the Ciri impression, but from the head on, I don't know. The boots are there, the wolf's head there. She is quite light. She's about the same weight as Ciri. Maybe they were cutting down on how much plastic they were using for the characters, I don't know. Because Triss is heavy, as well as Eldwin. Those two characters are very heavy. Geralt is not that heavy, but he is heavier, and I think they were just trying to plan things out properly. But yeah, this is not as detailed as some of the other figurines I've shown. But yeah, if you tilt her this way, she does look like Yennefer. Just like Ciri, if you turn her this way, she looks like Ciri. So yeah, it's not as bad as Ciri, but it's like a slippery slope. I think that they did this one before they did Ciri, and then they completely gave up because Ciri's face wasn't looking as like Ciri should. She looks more drunk than anything before. But Yennefer does look like Yennefer. So yeah, I'm hoping to do the unboxing of the Wolf's Head wall mount sometime in the future. Also, another point I didn't mention, she only had 3 cable ties. Also, I was meant to refer to which one's the best looking one compared to the others. Well, the thing is that overall, Triss is the best looking one, then it's Eldwin, then it's Geralt, then it's her, and then Ciri. Ciri is not the best looking one out of the lot, because of her face doesn't look like the face that is shown on the box. I'm kind of disappointed that they probably did it very quickly, or I have no idea, but Yeah, so she's the second to last of my favorites. The others are a lot more impressive. So yeah, yet again, I bought these for about €30. Technically, they are worth €30. They're not worth the hundreds of euro that I've seen on Amazon France, or like £50 in England. It's ridiculous. Also, she only had, I think it was 3 cable ties. So she ties in with Geralt for only having 3 cable ties holding her in position in the plastic container in the box. The overall one that had like 6 cable ties was Eldwin, and that's just ridiculous. You don't need that many cable ties to hold a figurine in a box. You just don't need that many. So yeah, I'm hoping to open up the Wolf's Head statue wall mount in the future. But I will be opening other collectibles in the meantime. I've opened a couple of book openings that I have planned as well. So I'm hoping to do and upload them as well. So my name is SilverDarkPhoenix. This was my unboxing of Yennefer of Vengerberg, and I'll see you next time.